1 month ago, the YouTuber by the name of Sai Scribbles made accusations against me, claiming many things like I'm a misogynist who's only making hate videos in an attempt to spread toxicity about VivziePop, and I lie in my videos in order to engage hate. Now, I already debunked those ridiculous claims about me in my response video not too long ago, but since then, a lot has unfolded, as over the span of a month and a half, Sai has shown herself to lack integrity, accountability, and has been lying to her viewers about who I am. And today in this video, I'm going to go over these events and explain to you all why Sai Scribbles is, simply put, a questionable human being. Now, why am I doing this, I imagine some of you are asking. This is not like me. Well, it's because I believe we need to hold people like this accountable for when they do something very wrong. Otherwise, that's how these people get away with their terrible behaviour. So just know, this video is not me doing anything out of revenge, nor is it me trying to start something, but rather me holding this individual accountable for her actions, and showing you all everything that I have gathered so you can come to your own conclusions about who she is. But where did this all begin? Let's start with my first response video. Now, at the time of that response, I had very little idea as to the type of person Sai was. So, around this time, I was showing a lot of respect and optimism that maybe they were just a genuine person who misunderstood me, as I tried to settle the matter privately before I even made my response video, believing that maybe she was someone reasonable. Heck, we even had a brief and friendly conversation on Twitter before I even made my video, where for the most part she was respectful and simply sharing her opinions on me, despite them not holding any real water still. But then I uploaded my video, and it was here when things begin to get interesting, as if you saw my video, you'd know that it was a simple but respectful breakdown of her claims against me, and even some acknowledgement of some of my own flaws. And yet, despite that, imagine my surprise when it turned out that Sai had gone down to her stream's comment section to say that I apparently made a hit piece on her, claiming I was butthurt because I made it so fast. Now, just for your understanding, peeps, this is what Sai thinks is a hit piece. And also, please understand where it is I'm coming from here. I'm not trying to paint you as a bad person, because quite frankly, I don't know much about you. I've never talked to you, and I don't watch your content, but rather, I feel like you were too fast and reckless to just assume things about people and not be very open with what some people like me had to say, and were incredibly reckless just to throw people like me into that misogynistic group. To me, that just doesn't seem very fair. If you perhaps would like to discuss matters privately and address any issues you have with me and my content, then I am more than willing to hear you out. But all I ask is that you don't be so closed-minded, and that we talk about these issues like adults. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, peeps, but was that really a hit piece? Because I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on that. And so, despite my very respectful and reasonable response, she still continued to make false accusations on me, but now only saying I attacked her online, which, as you guys just saw, is a bold-faced lie. And also, can we just talk about how pathetic it was that she had to go crying to her comments about me instead of, oh, I don't know, handling this like a responsible adult? So yeah, after seeing this, I called her out on it on Twitter for her very childish behaviour, because, you know, I showed her tons of respect, maybe even more than she deserved, and yet here she was, spitting in my face, making up more lies about me. And lo and behold, she responded. Now prepare yourselves, peeps, because from here on out, it gets doozy. Now, did she take accountability? Maybe even try to explain why she felt this way, as an adult would?
Nope.
No, she instead starts saying that I used out of context images of her due to me, quote-unquote, overreacting. Now remember, peeps, what she thinks I'm overreacting to is the fact that she accused me of being a misogynist, among many other things, by the way. And what exactly was this out of context screenshot I used? Oh, that's right, it was Sai using racist language that I had on screen for a few seconds. And here is strike one, peeps, because she claims I had an overreaction to literally being accused of being a misogynist, which is an awful thing to be accused of, by the way, with zero proof. But when someone shows evidence of her doing questionable behaviour for 2 seconds, that's not even the main focal point of the video, then suddenly that's not okay, that's bad. And so, peeps, the hypocrisy begins. And also, peeps, these screenshots she was talking about were already public knowledge. It's not like I dug into her personal messages to bring them out. No, I found them online like everyone else did, and showed them to be transparent with people because a few other people wanted me to mention it. And last I checked, there is no context that could possibly justify using racist language. Even if you were pretending to be someone who uses that language, you don't ever lower yourself to their level by speaking how they do. And notice how there was not one bit of accountability from this, because nowhere does she at all apologize for this behavior, nor does she ever try to take any form of accountability for these screenshots. It genuinely seems like she's more upset over the fact that she got caught making such disgusting comments. But let's make it clear, I'm not even trying to say she's racist, because to me at least, I think she's just someone who did something very stupid and was recklessly talking and using racist language in the process. And you know, here is where I began to think, are you really upset that they were out of context, or are you upset that people are now trying to hold you accountable for your own actions? Because, you know, it's okay if you make false accusations about other people with no real evidence and paper-thin arguments, but when other people try to hold you accountable for your actions with actual proof, then it's suddenly not okay. It seems, Sai, you can dish it out to others, but you cannot take it back. When the finger's pointed at you, you can't handle it. And that's strike 2 for hypocrisy. But it's okay, Sai. If I can't use those screenshots, that's perfectly fine, because I don't need to. There's already tons of other examples online of you using hateful language and even trying to justify using that hateful language alongside using the R slur a lot. And plus, let's throw in the fact that you used AI images to make fun of people. And as an artist yourself, that's just low. Oh, and while we're talking about your actions, let's not forget some of the other questionable shit you've done, like trying to send your fans over to another YouTuber's stream in an attempt to raid it.
Limus is live? Oh my god, you guys want me to raid Limus just to be an asshole? That would be pretty funny.
And when you were called out on this, you hid behind the "it's just a joke" excuse. Like, bro, this woman is 43. 43 years old. This isn't even childish behavior anymore, it's just straight up Karen behavior from her. And let's not forget, she first called me out for being hateful. Once again, it's okay if she does it, but if anyone else does it in her eyes, it's wrong. That's strike 3 of her hypocrisy, and usually it's 3 strikes and you're out, but we got more games to play, so let's quickly talk about your content side, because what type of YouTuber are you? You are a commentary channel, just like myself, and so I thought you of all people should know that as commentary YouTubers, the bare minimum we need to do is research what it is we're going to be talking about. And yet, you didn't even do the bare minimum when it came to talking about me and other YouTubers. I'm pretty sure you even said somewhere that the stream you did with me, that you weren't even the one who found those videos, they were sent to you. So not only did you do no background check on the people you covered, but you still went through with making bogus claims despite not even knowing who I was. And when I told her that, she suddenly starts saying that she owes me nothing and declaring the bare minimum is a expectation. Like, what are you talking about? This, ladies and gentlemen, is called deflecting. She can't come back at any of my points, and so she'll deflect the conversation, try to change the narrative, if you will, to me thinking she owes me something, when in actuality, what I am saying, as a commentary YouTuber, with a decently sized following, you owe it to not only yourself, but your viewers to educate yourself on what it is you're going to talk about. Because if you don't, then simply put, you're just speaking out of your arse then. And peeps, this isn't even the only time she tried to divert or change the narrative, because once she saw how old I was, suddenly she's trying to treat me like I'm some arrogant child, acting as if me being younger than her suddenly completely devalues all my critiques on her. And notice how she never once, during this entire situation, ever addresses any of my criticisms I had on her in my first response video. She couldn't disprove a single point I made, and that's because she knew she couldn't, because everything I said about her in that video was true. Heck, if I was wrong about anything in that video, then why doesn't she just say that? Why didn't she come back with that information? And so, in order to try and get back at me instead, she needs to scrape the bottom of the barrel with this excuse and that excuse and this excuse and that excuse in an attempt to try and discredit me, because she has no ground to stand on here. And at this point, it just comes across as desperation from Sai. Oh, I have nothing valid I can use against you, so I'm just going to resort to petty insults and deflection instead. Again, peeps, this woman is in her 40s here, and she's using the "I am older than you, so you have no idea what you're talking about" card. Make it make sense. And probably the biggest thing this entire mess of a situation has proved is that Sai, at best, is a hypocrite, and at worst, is a manipulative liar. Because for her to call out other YouTubers like Limus by saying that Limus avoided all of her critiques on them, only to do the exact same thing with me and my criticisms on her. It's honestly shocking how someone could have such little self-awareness. And you want to know something funny? I actually responded to one of the many comments Sai made on Limus's video, and she replied to me saying the exact same thing she was saying to Limus, that I didn't address a single one of her complaints. But when I reminded her that I in fact did do that, and even used clips to disprove her criticisms on me, she actually ended up deleting her response comment on me. That's why you see me responding to a comment that doesn't exist anymore. And honestly, we could go on and on about this all day, just debunking every single one of Sai's attempts to discredit me, but I don't want to be here all day, and I'm quite frankly tired of talking about her. So if you take anything away from this video, peeps, at all, number one, don't go harass Sai, because, you know, that's a shitty thing to do, and we are all better than that. But also, peeps, do your own research, because if you're gonna make accusations on someone, whether it be for a second or minutes, you need to really understand who or what it is you're going to be talking about. And while I do believe that not all of Sai's videos are plagued with these same issues, heck, some of them might even be warranted, what I am saying is that this situation was not warranted. It was someone who thought they could get away with doing reckless crap and ultimately got caught. And you know, there's a saying out there that people will only reveal their true colors when things don't go their way for once. And I think nowhere is that more relevant than it is here. Because in this situation alone, Sai has shown everyone that not only does she not hold herself to the same standards she holds everyone else at, but she will go to very pathetic lengths in order to try and justify her lies about others in order to avoid any and all accountability on herself. Because she's so used to being right all the time that it's made her sloppy and reckless, resulting in her no longer feeling the need to do any proper research or even the bare minimum. And so she simply can't accept the fact that she made a mistake because she's so used to being right all the time. And what helps prove this is how she acted just so offended that I even dared to defend myself, with her saying that because I wasn't the main point of her stream that I basically have no right to defend myself, when in reality, that doesn't even matter. It does not matter whether I was in her stream for 10 minutes or 10 seconds, you still threw those accusations at me publicly and labeled me many things publicly. So regardless of how long you talked about me, I have a right to defend myself publicly, just like you have a right to defend yourself from this video publicly. Remember, peeps, I tried to settle this respectfully and privately, but Sai is the one who insisted on turning this into an ugly public affair, so if that's the game she wants to play, then so be it. And honestly, even after everything you've seen today, after all I've had to say about Sai and how she's treated me, I'm still hopeful we can resolve this situation like adults. Hence why that offer for a private conversation between us will always be open. It's just a matter of if she chooses to accept it. But considering how much she's wanted to try and shame me publicly, I have my doubts about whether or not she actually cares about being adults. I don't hate Sai. I don't like her either, but I don't hate her, because it's a strong word. I just believe she's someone who made a big mistake and refuses to take any accountability for it. But I do hope you guys understand why it is I had to make this video. This has been going on for too long now and needs to be put to rest, because I've got other stuff I need to work on, like Jurassic June content or the Artist Tournament Finals. But just for today, I needed to get this all off my chest. And Sai, if you are watching this, then know this. You are not as smart as you think you are. You can't simply do the same shit over and over again and think nobody's gonna hold you accountable. Because as much as you hope your fans do, we don't forget. And so with that, I wish you all the best of luck in the future. I hope you actually start to learn from your mistakes instead of going on emotionally driven rampages online, and that you improve yourself as a person moving forward. Do better. And with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.